Hello everyone, and this will be the build order of archers. Pop 23 into archers. Well, do you want to know how to just go feudal and start pumping archers and keep your economy balanced? Well, this is the build order for this. And to be fair, this is not an easy build order because you have to get three different resources. You're gonna have to get archers to get food, to keep your town center going on and be able to make the upgrades. You have to make wood because you are going to have to make a lot of buildings. You are gonna have to make houses, archery ranges, blacksmith. So it's hard on the economy. Huh? That's a hard build order because it really hurts your economy if you cannot balance it well. So this is why I'm making this build order because many people like the archers and they have some difficulty in doing this. So I'm gonna teach you how to do the build order. Also guys, note that I'm doing this build order with the Saracens because they have no specific bonus that can help me in this build order, no economic bonus, and this proves that this build order can be done using any civilization, okay? That's the point of using the Saracens. So I start with 6 villagers on the ship, then I will send more 4 villagers to the wood, okay? That's important. If you start with 4 villagers, you're gonna have more wood in the later game, so it will get your economy even stronger. And also take note that I'm considering all these build orders to be done in a map with regular 8 ships until war starts, so that's what I'm expecting to do. I also like to let my next ship in line to be eaten, so I know that it will be better for me. For me, I will reduce the idle time, the walking time from the villagers. That's important. Going for the fourth villager, I'm also searching for the boar. I already found the 2 boars, but I still need 2 more ships. They're important, huh? They are my main food source from the beginning. Okay, now I have 4 villagers there getting the wood. And guys, I need to go for the boar. When I start to eating the 4th ship, I go for the boar with one of the villagers and send the other to the ship to replace his position. That's an important job, eh? To be the shepherd. So right now I'm going to get the boar, and after I get the boar, I will send more villagers to the boar because I want to have always 8 villagers getting my boar. That's my optimal number, and that's a number that can save your ass in the future. I'm gonna send a villager here to the berries, but before I go to the berries, I'm going to make a meal. I find this to be important. Oh, the villagers finished getting the ship, so they can all come here and kill the boar for me. And one more villager to the boar so I can make the 8 villagers to the boar. Okay guys, so right now I have 8 villagers taking this boar. I'm gonna send the ship to the other side because I want to divide them, but this is not important. The only important thing about your ship is to keep them safe on your TC. And right now we are going to send 4 villagers to the berries. We already have 2, one building the mill and other 2 going, but I want to have a total of 4 villagers there, okay? I still have 4 villagers on the wood. I'm searching for my enemy, and right now I will send my villagers to get the second boar. You never want your TC to have idle time, so always try to manage when you are getting the boar. When I see, for example, that my boar is at 150 food, it's the time that I go there to get the other because I still have to go there. I still have to shoot some arrows on him. He wants to go back, I have to run back. And now that I have this last villager going here, I'm gonna ask him to make a house for me. This will also be important, right? And now I'm getting the boar. With more villagers. And here's the thing. If you have a civilization that has any advantage in the beginning, with the wood, like the Celts or the Malians, or with the food, you can just stick with the. You do not need to make farms or anything. you can make it without prejudice, but if you are using civilizations that do not have any wood bonus, I recommend you to not make farms at the beginning. Save your farms, your food, so you can make the first buildings, the first archery range later on. So I now have 10 villagers on the board, and I will send 2 more to the wood. 1 more to this wood, and I will send more villagers to other woods. Okay. I want to up with pop 23, so I'm still making more. But if you are not comfortable with your economy and you want to make farms, man, that's fine. So I won't show the best case. I will show a case where you can just make farms like if you were doing any other building. So the key here for this build orders is to be easy to do. So I'm starting to make now 2 farms. And let's think a bit. With 2 farms, guys, and with 4 villagers on the berries, we're going to be able to keep the villager production because I'm going to have 6 villagers getting food. And this is what I need to be able to always get the farm, right? To get the wood. To keep villager production. What? I don't know what I'm saying. Now that I have pop 23, I'm making the loom. I'm gonna send 3 villagers to the gold, guys. And when I finish getting these 2 ships, I'm not going to kill another ship. Those villagers, guys, they are going to the wood as well. I will need more villagers, 1 more in each wood, so I'm clicking up. I'm sending a 6th villager to this wood, so I'll have 6 here. And I will also send this other cool villager here to the back wood. So right now, guys, look at how my economy is arranged. This villager here is finishing to eat the last ships, but she will be my builder. Okay, she will be the builder here. I have 6 villagers getting wood here, 6 more getting wood here, 3 villagers starting to make a mining camp. That will be essential for me to make the archers. And I have now 6 villagers on the food. I have 2 farmers and I have 4 more villagers on the berries. Some players like to not make farms. They rather take a deer, add more villagers to the berries, or use, for example, the sheep first, so they can have wood savings to make the ranges, but it's not completely necessary. You can just use this build order and do so. Also, when we enter in the feudal age, what we will be aiming to do is to add more villagers to the gold. To keep your archer production, you need 6 villagers on the gold. It's 3 villagers per archery range. So, if you want to keep like 3 archery ranges, man, go for 9 villagers. If you want to go only 1, 3 villagers. If you want to go 2, and you need to make 2 archery ranges because the archers are slow and you need to mass them. They are not like the scouts. You cannot do much with like 2 archers. You need to add more villagers. Right now, I'm adding 2 archery ranges up front. You see? And I'm making the wood upgrades. So all these 12 villagers here are going to be faster getting wood. My other villagers are born in here straight to the gold. Remember that I want to have 6 villagers on the gold, so I will even return the builders here later on. I'm not doing the horse collar because it's not the priority right now. I'm finishing to build it and I'm going to need the house. Okay, this builder is doing the house, this one is returning to the gold. I have 5 villagers on the gold, 1 more coming to the gold, okay. And I started making archers from 2 archery ranges. Guys, take note that the big difficulty on this build order is that it's already 12 minutes and I do not have archers yet, so sometimes enemies try to attack before this. How can you avoid it? It depends on what army your enemy is using. Oh guys, now that I have 6 villagers, I can start getting the ship. Do you remember that I saved 2 sheep here? Well, that's right, I don't need farms right now. I can still make ships. Go to the ships. I'm finishing to make a blacksmith, and this blacksmith is really important. Also adding 1 more house. because with this blacksmith I will be able to make the fletching. The archers are good, but they are not good, so good until they have the fletching. Now I make the fletching, keeping making archers from 2 archery ranges, getting the ship. It's really important. And you have to know, now that you are using the ship, you can even go for the horse collar if you want. Some players like it, some other don't. It depends on what you want to do. For example, now you have to choose what's more important for you, to have the archer armor or the horse collar. If you want to have the archer armor, go for it. If you want the horse collar, also go for it. And guys, did you remember that I had 12 villagers in each of the wood lines? That's right. If you want, you can just take 1 villager away from each wood line and you can start pumping farms. My berries are about to go off, so I want to pump farms from here. I'm keeping making my archers, guys. Do you remember the archers? Well, they're here. Right now I'm about to have 8 archers with 14 minutes. Also, those archers have the fletching, so if I want to attack, they are fully upgraded. And since I had 12 villagers in the beginning of the feudal age, I could make this large bank of wood to make more farms. And now, what you need to do after this beginning is to spend farms, okay? So just keep making archers from 2 archery ranges and make farms. Do not forget that if you do 2 farms on the feudal age, they are about to go down when about these 15 minutes. So those 2 farms are about to go off. I have to make replacements for them. And now you just have to keep adding farms. A suggestion that I give you is that you keep making the archers, the houses. You can now even upgrade the armor for the archers because you have food for both. Just a question of making priorities. Try saving your scout, because if the enemy tries to use scouts, this scout here is a good counter for the few skirmishers, and also to run after scouts. And now you just need to add a lot of farms, okay, around your TC. Try using the extra woods from the TC. For now, I don't have to worry because I already set 2 farms to rebuild. Those are the ones from the feudal age. I walled all the front of my base. I'm messing archers. Those archers are really strong, and the most archers you have, the stronger they are. Their power resides in being massed, so big groups can take fights against scouts, against other armies, so it's really nice. And for the farms, how many farms do you need? Well, you just need to keep pumping farms. I think that before you have like 16 farms, you can't stop making them. Right now, I don't know how many I have, but I have a lot. I'm not counting. Let's put on this view here to see how many. 15 farms, 7 gold miners. The builder is tired, eh? I gave her a haste. Keep making archers. Now that I have a lot of farms, I can send more villagers to the gold, because I'm making the archers, but I'm not saving gold. Eh? My gold is on the limit. If you feel more comfortable, you don't need to take away those villagers, those extra villagers from the wood. You can keep the 12 villagers instead of just 10. I'm just showing that you can do this with 10, because you can use the wood from around the TC to build. I'm doing more villagers here, and I will make the well barrel after I send these villagers. Right now, guys, I remember that I had like 6 villagers just to make the archers well, so I need at least 4 more villagers to get the gold for me, like I do when I try to go scouts, right? So now I have 10 gold miners, a lot of farms, like almost 20 farms. It's good to have this amount of farms because sometimes your enemy tries to go for full skirmishers. So if your enemy tries to go for full skirmishers and you do not have a good map to defend, you might have to make scouts. So having like 20 farms is really good because you can make like 3 or 4 scouts without hurting your economy. And guys, I'm about to go up. When I finish the wheelbarrow upgrade, I will have almost the amount of food that I need and almost the amount of gold, so I'm about to click up. I just need this gold miner to return this gold to the mining camp. And I'm gonna click up. Come on, I want to click. Okay, I click up. Now there's an important thing that I like to do. Remember, we are not making horses. If you are making scouts, maybe you are. But if you are not making scouts, you are only making archers. You need now, guys, to make more. To send more units to the wood, because if you just go castle like this, you're gonna have a big bank of food that you don't need. You just need to get wood to make TCs. So I'm now going to remodulate my economy. I'm gonna give back some villagers to the wood so I can have a good wood bank. So I will get at least 6 farmers and send them to the wood so I will have enough wood to make TCs, okay? Let's get 6 farmers here. I like to get the ones that are in the farms most far from the TC because their rate of economy is not so good. And also, this also depends on what you are going to do. Do you want to make more archers? Do you want to go for knights? I suppose you are going to go for crossbows. So that's what I'm doing here. I build order for crossbows. Right now, after you send more villagers to the wood, you are going to have a lot of lumbers. For example, right now, I'm counting on a big number of lumberjacks. Well, I'm being attacked by a few skirmishers, no problem. This can be solved later on. It depends a lot on what you want to do. For example, if you want to go for early ballistics, you can just get your farmers, like 5 villagers, make the university as quick as you can and upgrade the ballistics. If you don't want, if you, for example, you want to go for other things like the... If you want, for example, to go for booming, you just need to make the TCs. I'm keeping making archers and houses, of course. I still have this big army of archers. This is a problem. Your enemy goes full skirmisher. I should have made scouts, I didn't. He's trying to kill my lumber camp, eh? Let's defend the lumber camp. And I'm going to upgrade the crossbowman. When you upgrade the crossbowman, you can also make the thumb ring. It's really strong. I'm gonna do the thumb ring this time. The thumb ring is good for those guys who like to micro their army a lot. So it will make your archers fire faster and with more accuracy. So you're gonna have really strong archers. I'm also making the bodkin arrow, the attack from the archers. And always, guys, I'm always making this upgrade here, the wood upgrade. So I'm upgrading the attack, I'm upgrading I forgot the name, the bodkin arrow, the crossbowman upgrade. If I want to go for ballistics, well, no problem. I just can make one of my TCs later and do the ballistics already, but look at the power of the crossbowman. You can use a scout to absorb some damage from the skirmishers like I'm doing here and kill them with the archers, so that's something you can do. Now I'm returning villagers to the farms, I'm making more farms. You see, even with this lot of skirmishers here, my crossbowmen are not letting them alive, so I can keep making crossbowmen, no problem. If I want to go for the ballistics after I make the TCs, it's quite easy because I will be back to the wood. Remember that a lot of farms that we did before, well, they are now useful because we don't need to make more farms to the boom. I'm booming already, huh? I just need to make the university for the ballistics if I want to, and I can keep making crossbowmen. Right now, there are also a lot of decisions to make. Do I want to keep crossbows? Do I want to boom into something else? Do I want to start making mangonels? Well, there's a lot of things that you can do. Usually, I like to let all the villagers that I send to the gold, the extra villagers, apart from the 6 ones, because maybe I want to make crossbowmen for 3 archery ranges to have more crossbowmen or to mass them faster. Some players like to do this. Maybe I want to go for mangonels, so I will also need to use the extra gold. And it's easy to make the ballistics, you just need the university. The latest that you are going to do is like 26 or 25 minutes. If no one touches your economy, it's going to be later if your economy was hurt, so take that in mind. And right now, after I make the ballistics, I will have to start remaking my farms, okay guys? My farms are about to go off, so I may even try to go for the brave plow if I want then to have more food. And it's quite easy. After this you can just boom, do mangonels, go for knights, go for imperial, do whatever you want. Right now I can upgrade the armor of the crossbows, I'm upgrading the ballistics, everything that that I have can be upgraded, so I'm not in trouble. I'm really cool. I have full up crossbowmen made by 2 archery ranges. I can fight armies that are not upgraded and kill them all. Those skirmishers, for example, if they were elite, I could use a mangonel to help me. So crossbowmen and mangonel are also great. And guys, if you have an army that size of crossbowmen, it will be really hard for your enemy to kill you with knights or something. You just have to keep microning, using narrow spaces like this one, and do whatever you want. If you want to go for a full boom, you can just do. If you want to get more gold and make like 4 archery ranges, you can also do. You are pretty much free to do whatever you want from this point. So that's it. 3 TCs sustaining itself, crossbowmen for 2 ranges, and a lot of excellent economy to do whatever you want on the game. That's it.